So we're going to take our multi-purpose lacrosse ball to the bottom of our feet now. The bottom of our feet tend to get really matted down, especially if we've got a tight Achilles. That sheath, that kind of plantar fascia on the bottom of the foot tends to get tight with that Achilles as the Achilles tightens. That's a big source of plantar fasciitis, etc. But also, kind of these intrinsic muscles of the feet tend to get tight as well. They're not contracting, relaxed muscles like the rest of our muscles are, but they stabilize the foot and they stabilize the bones of the foot more importantly. So if we're going to mobilize those, we can take our shoes off and we'll start to roll on this lacrosse ball. We'll start on the ball of your foot. We'll start to roll back and forth across. We'll go all the way down that foot, all the way down to the heel, the calcaneus. We'll kind of roll around there, hang out, but you should feel some pretty junky parts at the bottom of your foot. Spend a couple minutes down here, kind of rolling back and forth. You can do it while you're sitting watching TV, reading a book, doesn't matter. Just mobilize as much as you can. But the other thing to kind of think about is that typically we tend to see that our toes get bunched up as well. So ideally, we want to spread our toes out as much as we can. Mine are kind of jacked up right now because I've been running a lot. But we can kind of do some soft tissue work with our toes too. You should, ideally, I guess it's kind of difficult for me right now, but ideally, you should be able to get webbing to webbing grip on your toes and kind of roll around. If you can't, that's a big source of dysfunction. It's a big stabilizer of the foot too, to be able to spread our toes, whether we're squatting, deadlifting, running, it doesn't matter. So get a webbing to webbing grip and just kind of play around with your feet. You can rotate, kind of get in some of this fascia and kind of stretch this fascia. You can go back, work on flexion. Anything to do to kind of work some of this soft tissue dynamic of the feet will make a big difference in running, walking, doesn't matter. So play around.